See where I put things I create at. The view from the loo. Or something to do while you're having a poo. Or something to read before, during, and after you've weed. Or laughing a bit while taking a long look at your life choices. Daft Poetry by DJ Rowbotham. Whiptic Publishing. Never trust a color. Things that are green are loud and obscene. They annoy me most of the time. And while yellow things sneer, they generally adhere to the time-honored compulsion to rhyme. Things that are blue, whilst quiet, it's true, can be devious and untrustworthy fellows. They will set up a line that could easily rhyme, and then end it with yellows and pinks, orange and turquoise, have no easy rhyme. So it's best if I end this with brown. For a lozenge to work, boys, you must give it time. That's the best I could do, so calm down. Colors are fun, but I'd never trust one. Not as far as I could throw it, you know. But wouldn't your day be dour and gray if the colors abandoned the rainbow? Oops. Can you guess what you type when there's a coffee spill? On your lovely new laptop keyboard? You type QW25. As you mop it at will, with the best tissue that you can afford, and because you are cheap and buy stuff that's not tough, it gets stuck in the keys, so you laugh. Then you catch the wrong button. The laptop turns off, and you hope it was saved as a draft. Pimples, a pimple. It's simple, is an inside-out dimple. Rhyming is hard and less. Making words rhyme is like taking a bird's time. It's like waking with a blurred mind or faking a third line. When you need things to sound the same, you find that speed brings the ground to game. Because it's agreed the strings have found some fame and the freed wings compound the rain. As you can see from the preceding bombard, rhyming words and succeeding is hard. I promise that I will take no offense if you inform me that these words make no sense. I've basted a lime with a glove and pasted some slime with a shove. I've tasted your mind, it was tough, and I've wasted your time with the above. How to make a number. 1 is okay, but 2 seems to have gone. Is that because it's shaped like a swan? 5 is still here, but 4's getting its coat. It needs to go sailing 'cause it looks like a boat. 7 thinks it's better 'cause it's bigger than 6. But 6 has a plan and can play a few tricks. Flip a 6 over and you get number 9. So 7 just leaves with a moan and a whine. After 7 comes a man who is quite overweight. And that's how you get the number. 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, 8. Hey, spankle my boing and tickle my spout. Don't be so quiet, just let it all out. Babcock my ningle, and lugnut my flot. Please don't be shy, 'cause I like it a lot. And spot my wonkly, my passet, and Flynn. If I like it a lot, will you do it again? My dooney could do with a great big splurt. But don't do them hard, because sometimes they hurt. Pintles and fosdips can apparently tear. If you don't hold them gently, so please do take care. If your climper won't groan and your ipslink won't spore, then grizzle your Templar and try it once more. Zipcasts and Yardleys have been known to drip, so whiz-pot them tightly with a Jeremy clip. Last bong can burn if you don't treat them right. So secure them with Spunfink, but make sure it's tight, 'cause twiddles can squeak and poffits can pop, and if you hear Twasnocks hiss, then I think you should stop. Bastominies go dry if you leave them too long, and an untreated gipple will probably pong. Shoebutts and pink tots are soft to the touch, and wart bugs go crazy if you stare too much. I make up new words so they are easy to rhyme. So here is my last one. It's Spizistora virally bustrita slime. Don't cry in libraries. You're a great big baby, said the great big lady, and you're a pain in the neck there, I've said it. You're not a barbarian, and I'm only a librarian. It's not my fault if you've read it. Thank you for pointing out the obvious. When you meet someone with nasal congestion, don't say, "Have you tried blowing your nose?" I mean, really? Come on, that's not much of a suggestion. Sinusitis is where your tubes swell and close. And when you meet someone who has lost a thing, don't say, "Where were you when you had it last?" They won't believe that you said it, 'cause if they knew that they'd go and get it, it's the dumbest question that you could have asked. And when you meet someone with a spot on their nose, don't say, "You've got a spot on your nose. It's right there." They know there's a zit, 'cause they've been trying to squeeze it. They don't need you to point at it and stare. And when you meet someone with food on their shirt, don't say, "You've spilled something, look, that'll stain." Unless, of course, they didn't know it was there. 'Cause that would be a rather nice thing to do, because they could have walked around all day with it just hanging there, getting all dry and crusty, and never have known. "Read me," said the poet. "Boom," said the noise, and then it said bang. "La la," said the music, and then it sang. "Yum," said the food, and then it was eaten. "Oh," said the egg, and then it was beaten. "Solve me," said the puzzle. "Please work me out." "Hear me," said the whisper. "I'm not going to shout." "Speak me," said the language. "I'm not as tough as you think." "Enjoy me," said the water. "I'm a nice cool drink." "Live in me," said the country. "I'm under your feet." "Tidy me," said the mess, "because I'd rather be neat." "Have me," said the thought. "I could make lots of sense." "Use me," said the gate. "Don't jump over the fence." "Bounce me," said the ball. "You can kick me as well." "Blow me," said the nose. "It's not my fault I smell." "Run," said the feet, "but stay on the ground, and 'cause if your nose runs and feet smell, then you're built upside down." Wave or waver. Me and her meander. We roam from place to place. Then I saw an eyesore, and thought it was a waste, when she saw near the seashore a really nice seesaw. There was a boat which moved about, with a paddle or an oar. I'd be daft, wouldn't I, to wear a wooden tie? If it's off and on, take it off and on. And please try not to cry. You'd be daft, wouldn't you, to eat a wooden chew? If you're still stood still against your will you blame it on your shoe? The thingamajig. The what's-it goes into the thingamajig, and the doohickey bolts on the side. The doobry hangs off if it isn't too big. If it is, then the thingies collide. The what's the thingy's name will never ever fit if the doodah is taken away. But the you-know-what-it-is and the what-you-call-it will always fit if the gizmo is gray. The bits and bobs on the gadget with knobs will come loose unless the doofer is tight. The diddly thing with the nut like a wing will drop off and you'll be up all night. So say what you mean and mean what you say, or you will never ever finish a job, 'cause no matter how hard you wish and you pray, the what's-it won't go in the thingamy-bob. My seach, there are wet bits over there and dry bits out of reach. My favorite bit is the middle bit, that I like to call the seach. It uses all the sea and nearly all the beach. The waves roll on, but the ground is still. The seach is where it meets. The seach moves in and out. It's where the foam bits land. I like to walk right on the line, where the water meets the sand. The seach is in one place, but it's moving all the time. There are millions of them all over the world, but I only care about mine. As I walked down the path, I said to my friend, "Is it nistles or thistles that sting?" My friend stared at me with a look of confusion, and then they started to sing. "Oh, a thistle will prickle, but nettles will sting, and Stings are really not nice. A prickle may tickle, but nettles aren't thistles. So please take my advice. When you're stung by a nettle, a dock leaf will settle the pain that the nettle produced. So rub it on in and it will begin to make the swelling reduce. When they finished the song, I said to my friend, so it's nittles, not thistles. That sting? My friend looked at me with a look of confusion, and then they started to sing. Oh, a thistle will prickle, but nettles will sting, and stings are really not nice. A prickle may tickle, but nettles aren't thistles. So please take my advice. When you're stung by a nettle, a dock leaf will settle the pain that the nettle produced. So rub it on in, and it will begin to make the swelling reduce. So I stopped for a moment and said to my friend, so it's nestles, not thittles, that sting? My friend glared at me with a look of confusion, and then they started to sing. A thistle will prickle, but nettles will sting, and stings are really not nice. A prickle may tickle, but nettles aren't thistles. So please take my advice. When you're stung by a nettle, a dock leaf will settle the pain that the nettle produced. So rub it on in, and it will begin to make the swelling reduce. Then my friend looked at me, and I knew they could see that my head was beginning to spin. They shouted at me, it's nettles, not thistles, that irritate the skin. Oh, a thistle will prickle, but nettles will sting, and stings are really not nice. A prickle may tickle, but nettles aren't thistles. So please take my advice. When you're stung by a nettle, a dock leaf will settle the pain that the nettle produced. So rub it on in, and it will begin to make the swelling reduce. So now I've been told that it's nettles, not thistles, that make your skin really itch. Unfortunately, that doesn't help me, because I still cannot tell which is which. The A to Z of ooh, if there's much ado and you're feeling too blue to give a clue, that there's something to do that'll make you go you for the chosen few, who emotionally grew but had a strange facial hue because they'd paid a Jew because of living in an igloo, who clearly knew he'd done it in lieu of a cow saying moo in a voice that was new, which made him say ooh and her go phew when they joined the queue for a delicious roux served after a stew, which was eaten, it's true, by little old you from your twisted view that made you woo an EX that you met at the zoo. By DJ Rowbotham. See where I put things I create at.